Welcome, everyone, to the Relentless Undead. I'm your host, Robert, and today we are going to be playing some PowerWash Simulator. If you want to check us out on YouTube and on Twitch, you can, under our respective usernames. For myself, it's the Relentless Undead. For Tammy, it is Tamapanda. We're, sorry, my brain turned off because of looking at stuff, and I was like, wait a second. Anyway, we also have a community Discord. If you guys want to check it out, it should be linked below. We are playing in Tammy's. So, Tammy, you can pick whatever one you want. If you want to do that one, or you can want to do an easy one, quick one, your choice. You don't have to stick with a pattern for you.
Should probably just get the skate park done.
Fine. To the stupid skate park. And then when you're ready, just tell me and I can... Yeah, so just in case no one knows, like, how we usually do this is... To make our brains not become rot, a lot of the times what we'll do is we'll play games for only a little bit of time. And then, like a level, basically. And then we will switch over to a different game. There's exceptions to that. Primarily, the exceptions are...
Is this the best one that we have right now?
I
Urban
don't...
XU2?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
To our game, and she's
You are so
asking
blue.
me. You're not being red.
I know. I hate the fact that it doesn't keep your outfit of choice. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, we just basically switch around to games so that way we're not going insane. Playing the same game for too long.
Overexerting the brain. I have most of the achievements, well, most of the story career achievements.
Yeah.
As they unlocked when I played with you, but...
Yeah, we're trying to get Tammy, Tammy doesn't care about achievements as much as I do, but occasionally I look at a game and I'm like, you can get all the achievements in this, and Tammy goes, yeah, I probably could. And then we focus on it. This game, Tammy realized that she can't get all the achievements if she doesn't play the game herself. Because there is one for getting all the stars. Besides that, she can get all the other achievements. So we were like, well, if you can get pretty much all of them except for the career ones, with me, career ones and challenge ones, basically, sorry. But with me, then why don't we just get you all the career ones, and then we can do the challenge ones. You can't do them together, but we can do them in tandem. Or basically, I'm working on them and she's working on them on her own. But we wanted to make sure that when we were going for the challenge ones, that she had the better power washers. Yeah. Better equipment. Because she was, with her equipment, we tried doing a joke thing in one of the other levels, and because it was actually her equipment we were using for one of it, she just could not actually do anything. Like, she was trying to wash certain things and it was taking her 3 times as long as it was taking me. And I was using, like, a silly way of washing things. And she was trying to do it the proper way. So.
Yeah. Ooh, hiss.
But yeah, so basically what we usually do is we switch around games. And then the other thing that reason we switch around games is because I put this on YouTube. She does too. She puts her stuff on YouTube as well. But I found that if I put things down for like an hour on YouTube, they usually get more views than if I put a full-length 3-hour long thing. but I don't want to edit a 3-hour long video. So, to make it easier for myself, I just only stream an hour of that game, and then I switch over to a different game. And it makes it a little bit easier. And then it also keeps me from being bored of a certain game because I'm playing, in a week, I'm playing like sometimes, at least at one point, I was playing like 14 to 18 games, different games. Currently, I have to play, I think, like 3 of them offline. No, I think it's 4 of them. So I have to play Marvel's Midnight Suns offline. Because I'm trying to do all the training. So that everyone is level 25. Which is the max level. So my heroes are like level 22. So I'm just trying to make them all level 25, so they're all the max level. Which is just doing, like, training missions. Which are just slow and boring. Because it's very repetitive and stuff like that. So, not really that great to be watching, so I'm trying to do it off stream. Just the problem is that every time I'm off stream, I'm watching stuff on my Xbox rather than doing that, so I have to actually break that habit, which I'll probably do Friday. The other one I want to try doing is completing Starfield, because I have only one achievement left for Starfield, and that's also another just grindy one, so I'm trying to do that one offline, which is getting to level 100. What other game was it that I'm doing offline? Oh, Little Kitty, Big City. I've completed all the achievements except for
the birds and the birds and the pictures.
Yeah, the birds and getting pictures taken of me. So because of that, the birds, I have to just sit there and wait, pounce on a bird, wait, pounce on a bird. And again, it's just, for streaming purposes, it gets very boring unless I'm sitting there talking with someone. And then the pictures, I'm not sure why they're not working. I sat there for like a good little bit and no one wanted to take a picture of me. So I have to figure out why that's happening and see if there's a plan behind that. And I swear there's another game, but maybe there isn't. Well, I actually got the achievements I wanted recently, so my achievement score is ridiculously high.
You're welcome. Just kidding. Even though I did assist. Did you even update it?
No, because I didn't put it back up. I got rid of it for a bit. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to mark it as like having the next year's goal up there, if I just want to have what my current achievement score is. And because I'm not quite sure what I wanted to do, I just basically said F it. I think the other game that I was supposed to be playing offline, there's a couple of them that I can think of now, but they're like playing the entire game again, which I'm not even kidding you. One of them is that I have to play the entire game again, because at one of the achievements at the very end, you're supposed to kill a creature with something, do it a certain way, and I never did it that way, and didn't get the achievement. I didn't realize I had to kill him like a certain way. And that would be the one with Calvin.
Breath? Something?
Yeah, Breath's Edge.
Breath's Edge, yeah.
Yeah, Breath's Edge. So I have to beat Breath's Edge again. Which is like completing the game completely. Like I have to do it all over again, so that's gonna suck. And then the other one is Biomutant. I have to see if I can cheese it. If I can't cheese it, I have to play it all again. If I want all the achievements anyway. And then there's also, what the hell is the other stupid game that I have to look into 2 other games and figure out if I want to even deal with them. And that's, one of them is, whatchamacallit there? Let's Build a Zoo. I may have to reset a zoo and just become straight evil. And I can't remember what the other one is. But it's another one that has like one of those uneven scores. So, I'll have to see if I actually even want to accomplish that or if I want to just say F it. But it's also just going to see how far we get into No Man's Sky and seeing if any of those achievements really screw me over. To see if maybe the other game can actually counterbalance that.
I know we were doing Redfall, which had certain ones that were uneven.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we got that game to an even number. I'm pretty sure is what happened. And then I stopped caring for the time being, so. And I know that we have another game that we have to play offline, which is Conan. Mostly because we're just going to basically change some rules, make it easy, and just go for it. We may do that on Friday as well. Again, off stream. Just that way that if anything goes wrong or if I have to, do anything, I can just turn off the server, turn it back on, etc., etc. So that's kind of the
The issues.
not really. There's just things I have to work on when I'm not streaming. That's all. But like I said earlier, it's like everything's run off my Xbox. So like, if I want to watch YouTube, I usually watch it on my Xbox. If I want to watch a movie, it's usually off my Xbox. So it's hard to watch or do something, and then at the exact same time of doing something. Where's this one? Okay. Still trying to get the achievements. So I know that I did figure out something with Starfield, which I should have worked on this weekend, but I wasn't feeling it. But I can actually play it off my phone. So if I plug my phone in, I can actually just use a controller and play Starfield. And just do the silly little grind to level myself up. So I may work on that some point in the near future.
realize how dirty this bench was.
Yeah, it's because I did it last time. Last time I did the bench. I usually do them alphabetically. Or not alphabetically, sorry. Whatever the game tells me to do it in. That's why I keep doing
Which is usually alphabetically.
Not always, because it goes arch, bowl, corner, fun. I guess it is. Holy shit. Just it goes from fun, like, I guess there's not a lot here. Never mind. It looks like a lot. I thought there was going to be a lot more. But, anyway. I swear that sometimes it hasn't been alphabetical. But
Could very well be. People messaging me on the game.
yeah, that guy loves to message you. But yeah, so it's just, like, I want to try getting more achievements, so it's like, certain games, I just have to keep playing them, like Rise. Because if I don't play them on stream, I don't play them. Like, that's really the other thing that's the problem. But I also have to keep in mind that certain games, it's really fucking boring to be playing them on stream. Like, no one wants to watch me for the next 10 hours play Starfield, where I basically just stand there, do nothing. And then after the 10 minutes of doing nothing, or 10 hours, sorry, not 10 minutes, go and craft a couple things. Be done with the crafting, and then sit there and do nothing again. You know what I mean?
It would definitely, like, if you were doing it in the background as you were doing, like, more of a podcast style stream, then it would make sense, but
the problem is that we don't do podcast style streams as much anymore. Just you and me do, which is just basically me talking. But the problem is that unless I have an actual topic to talk about, it starts becoming really fucking hard.
yes. Yes, it does.
Especially, like, because, like, the other problem is the fact that, using my friends as an example, both Chris and Jay sometimes don't talk at all.
I have done streams like that, yep.
And then it starts becoming really hard when you're like, well, I need something to bounce something off of, and they're just like, I don't know what to say. It's like, damn it.
Damn it, damn it, damn it.
And then other times, like, Jay will just take over the whole thing. I'm like, okay. But, so, yeah, it's the challenges of it. And then Bryant kind of, like, is just chaos when it comes to certain things. And then he's also agrees with you on a lot of other things. So it's like, you know, you can't really bounce off too much there. I'm not saying you're any better, but I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just trying to explain it. It's hard to do a podcast with everybody when pretty much you're the only one talking, so you might as well just do the podcast by yourself. Then at that point in time, you need a good topic, and then there's no topic, and you're just sitting there going, I'm struggling.
Driving the struggle bus.
Like, when people are, like, around in the chat or whatever, I can go sometimes. Like, I'm going right now, just because I'm trying to explain things. But like at certain points, like there's no one around. It's like, what do I say now?
Yeah. Gotta try and hold the conversation by yourself,
Yeah.
with yourself.
Which, oh man, sometimes it's just so relatable when you ask someone how they are and they're like good, and you're like, what you up to? They're like, nothing. And I'm just like, cool. That sounds boring. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you didn't ask me anything. You haven't thrown anything back at me. Like, why am I having a one-sided conversation right now?
We are having a questionnaire. You're not having a conversation.
Apparently.
You have not reciprocated anything.
Like, I've had that so many times. It's just infuriating. And, like,
Yeah.
I had a friend recently who, she's gone through a bunch of stuff because in her head, she really wants this guy. This guy really wanted her. Shit happened. Now the guy doesn't want her. It's not like she did anything, in my opinion, she didn't do anything wrong. She's got a lot of past trauma and has trust issues. And he's got some past trauma apparently as well. But he isn't dealing with them the same way. And not going great detail about this because it's not my place. But basically, in short, he decided that he was just going to break up with her because, it was too much stress for him. Even though he knew that that was the problem when they first started dating. And now she's like, no one gives a fuck about me. No one loves me. No one cares. And she decided that the other day she was going to do a test. Or basically she would just stop messaging everyone for 24 hours. Basically see who messages her. 24 hours is not really like that much of a time, to be fair. But surprisingly enough, she actually got 3 messages. And she was going on about the fact that, like, oh my god, only 3 people messaged me. I was like, hold on. Don't get like that. Like, 3 people messaged you. That is a lot. And she's like, it's not really. I'm like, it is. Like, because I literally messaged. That's what we're trying to, like, I explained to her. I'm like, I messaged 4 people today. And no one got back to me. You go 24 hours without talking to everyone, and people talk to you. They actually reached out to you. Yes, it wasn't, maybe the people you wanted it to be. Maybe it wasn't as many as you wanted it to be. But the fact that somebody reached out to you is phenomenal.
Yep.
It's awful when you reach out to a bunch of people and no one gets back to you. And then I was trying, like, not even just that, but it's worse when you know they've actually seen the message. Because most platforms nowadays show you that someone's looked at it. And then they never messaged you back. I was like, so, like, that's what I'm dealing with. And I'm like, not even just that, but, like, recently, which is, my 700K gamer score, I achieved something that I was really proud of. Which, again, that's what it was. I'm like, and I messaged everybody about it, and, like, I got a fraction of the people making any comments about it. I'm like, so, like, when you're really proud of something and then no one, like, replies to what you're really happy and proud about it, that fucking hurts too. So I'm trying to basically make her understand, like, she wasn't the only one that, like, things like that happen to. But, I don't know. I don't think I hit, like, at all close to helping her understand that her problem is mostly in her, like, self-induced. But There was a point I was trying to make about this, and I forgot now. I think it was just basically the concept of talking to oneself and having, or people like legitimately don't even like where I've, and this is not even a joke. This is like legitimately serious. I've had people like girls who have like gone, oh, I'm ugly. I'm the ugliest, like piece of shit ever kind of idea. And it's not true that they're ugly. I'm trying to help them just like, not have like shitty self esteem. So I bring up the fact of like, no, 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 you're not ugly. You're not ugly. You're good looking or whatever. I'm not lying to them. They're not ugly. They are actually good looking. And then I say something about the fact that like, no, 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 like I'm ugly. And instead of going with the concept of like where you're supposed to go with that, which is like, oh no, no, like if I'm not ugly, you can't be ugly, kind of a deal. Like they'll just be like, no, I'm really ugly. Like, and just ignore the fact that I just called myself ugly. It's like, holy fuck, like, okay, well, I guess I'm
Yeah.
ugly, piece of shit.
I don't like it when you do that. Because it is untrue.
Eh. Like I said to you before the other day when you asked why am I self-deprecating? Because
Because it hurts less when other people
yeah,
say mean things to you. Yes, I understand that's what you said.
it is. It's half joking and half so that way, if someone else says it, I can just be like, yeah, whatever. And that's kind of like sadly how a lot of guys have to deal with things.
It just pisses me off. Not that you do it, the fact that that's what guys and some people actually do. Because, yeah,
Yeah, it's just it
we have
is.
just a shit-tacular society.
Yeah,
People suck. I hate them.
and I also think it's really sad that like girls always say like, "Oh my god, I'm ugly." Like no, like blah blah blah. It's like, to whose standards are you ugly? And most of the time, sadly, it's actually other girls.
Well, according to one thing I thought was really nice, like really interesting, was um, people are like, "Oh, I don't think I look good," and it's like you're just not your type. Like,
Yeah,
you ever think about that?
I told people like before who are like, "Oh, I'm ugly." I'm like, there's two things that you're not grasping here. One is that you are your worst critic.
You see all the flaws.
Two, that I can guarantee that I could probably, for most of the girls that I've ever said that they are ugly to me, I'm like, I can probably get at least, a dozen people to tell, like, say, for truth, that you're not ugly. But the problem is that you're so inside your own head that you cannot see it. Because you want it to be true. Because then it would make things easier for you because you can just not have to deal with, said other problems. Which I get. Like, don't get me wrong, like,
Did I not do the gate?
no,
Ah, no.
you did not.
I thought I did.
There we go. But yeah,
Shit.
I doubt anyone's watching this far into the video. Usually people don't. But if you are watching this, just know that, if you're ever feeling down, there's probably someone out there that will actually, that does care. And if not, well, then I am sorry. And, yeah, you can always, join the chats and, I'm going to state this for the record, I can't be your guys' friends. I don't know. It's something I've always put up, from the very beginning, is that I can never really be everyone's, friend. One, I just can't work like that. I can't have that many friends. And actually, I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to tell someone, I'm your friend, and then fucking not do anything. I would have to be a friend. And if I have to be a friend to 152 people, I'm not then putting any of my actual focus on them. And then I'm just lying again. So I feel really bad. That's the whole thing. So, like I said, I try not to lie to people about that. It's the whole thing where people have said it before, other streamers. To be a streamer, we're never going to be able to be your guys' friends. We're just entertainment. But if I can be entertaining enough to help you through your shit, that's all I actually want. I'm not going to judge. Unless you do things that break my code. My code is pretty much do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. So as long as you're not hurting anyone else, But yeah. If you ever need, just watch something, just to chat, just get your mind off of things, that I can do. And just understand that your struggles are not just your struggles. Everyone struggles. Some more than others, some less. Doesn't change the fact that we all struggle.
No.
I still wish everyone the best.
True that.
I was going to make a joke that Tammy just wants her food.
All the food. All of it.
No, apparently, according to what Tammy said, is according to some of the discords that she's in and stuff like that, everyone wants her food.
Yeah.
Apparently, all the other streamers that she's in a little group with, they all want her food.
But it's my food. I made this.
Maybe we should actually once we I think we probably do it with our phones. But it's just our kitchen isn't that big, so I'm not sure if it would work. But I was going to do a jokingly cooking with Tammy show.
Give away all my secrets?
Yeah, pretty much.
How dares.
Maybe you should actually ask your
My humans.
yeah, if they would want to see that, and if they do, what would they want to see you do first, or even just a couple of things they would want you to do first? Because then we can make YouTube videos out of it. The reason I'm suggesting YouTube videos is because if it's got to like deal with chicken, for example, um, unless you do pre-prep, which would then just make us have like a shit ton of food, which would not be good. We'd have to like wait like 45 minutes for the chicken to be done. So if we wanted to avoid that, then we could always just do like pre-record, or not pre-recorded, but record ones, edit them, and then put them on your YouTube.
We could do that. We would just, like you said, have to ensure the kitchen is kind of reorganized so we had space to do certain things.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The reason, like, what Tammy's trying to get to is, our counter space is very, very minimum in the place that we have. We have, 2 counters. Or I guess we have 3 counters, but the one really isn't a counter anymore. But it goes, fridge, counter, and then a very, 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 very. I don't even think it's an L. I think it just cuts off, and then goes to stove. In the stove would be the L position, and then there is more counter, sink, and then a tiny sliver of a counter. And I think both the counters, the stove or the fridge to stove one, I think is probably about 3, maybe 4 feet. I think probably 4. Maybe.
I don't know.
And,
It's also got a bunch of stuff on it.
oh yeah.
Like microwave and...
Yeah. I was gonna get there. But yeah, like, so it's only got like 4 feet. And then the other one is like, I think 3 feet between stove and sink. And the other one is like 2 feet. The 2-foot one has a fucking countertop dishwasher on it. And it barely fits the countertop dishwasher. Like, our countertop dishwasher is legitimately half an inch into our sink. So. And then on our fridge to stove one, we have a coffee pot, a microwave, a toaster. What else do we have on that? A little Lazy Susan thingy that has like this really cool panda thing. A panda cooking cookie jar. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. It also had has that sandwich press thing.
Yeah, little 2-sided grill.
Yeah. So it also has that. So it's got a lot of stuff on it. That's basically what I'm trying to get to here.
Then our one from the stove to the sink has my little deep fryer on it.
Yep.
And my toaster oven.
Yep.
I like the things. I like having the things.
And then, of course, like I said, the other one has
countertop dishwasher.
Yeah.
Because I don't like dishes. I don't like doing dishes. I don't like anything about it.
I'm not sure why this one's not done yet. I'm not seeing any dirt on it. Is it right here? So yeah, if we were going to do it, we'd have to just like probably put away the okay, that's what it was.
Depends on what we were cooking, but yeah.
Yeah, we'd probably have to put away the toaster oven and deep fryer, or that's the other thing. It's the toaster oven and deep fryer on the one. Tammy also has like the dish little rack on it as well.
When I actually have to like hand wash dishes.
Yeah, so that can always get removed, but then you're right next to the sink. So, like I said, we may have to just do it where we remove one of them unless we're using it. But that's okay. Like, I'm always okay with that as long as we're actually having fun. And like I said, then we can edit it. Yep.
I was gonna say, it's not like I have like professional experience or anything. It just
No, you just make food.
I make. According to the one person I was talking to, I make what do they call it? Comfort food. Like.
Yeah.
And.
But yeah, so like I said, we'll just work on that.
I think I got all of the upper parts here. This is all good up here. Okay. So all the top ledges should be done on the walls.
Okay. But yeah, no, like I said, I can record certain parts of that. But having it where you actually ask people what they want to see would probably be better than us just like just doing it, because then you could ask your grouping of people like, would you actually be interested in watching this? Like, be honest, because you're gonna put effort into this if they don't want to see it. Then there's no reason to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to reach out to probably a couple of different
Yeah.
Discords.
Yeah, just like ask.
Yeah.
Like I said, and just tell them when you're actually messaging it in there that you want them to be honest. Like, if they're not interested in it, that's fine. You're not going to be hurt if they're not interested in it. You just need to know. You'd be more hurt if they said they were interested in it and then never watched the video than telling you right now that, they probably weren't going to want to watch a video about it.
Yeah. Because just reminds me of what happened the last time I tried to plan something that involved other people. It was not a good time.
Tammy wanted to do something for her birthday last year? Yeah. I think it was last year. And, no, it was like, that was a different one. That was also another one that happened. But no, Tammy, was trying to organize a grouping where people could jump by and play a certain game with her. Also, something that she tried doing for her birthday as well. And the biggest problem is the fact that everyone's like, yeah, I would definitely be down with that. Oh my god, that's going to be so awesome. Oh yeah, that'll be so cool to do. And then it gets to the date, and not only did, the people that, like, hyped it up, like, that they were really going to show up, they were going to show up early, kind of idea, not show up. No one even, like Tammy, sent messages to these people.
It's not like it was just a last minute thing, like, I just threw something together within, like, a couple of days. It was like, I planned it for, like, a month. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, we're still gonna, this is still the plan. We're gonna, do this event, and we're gonna this, that, and the next thing, and
Then just no one, not only did no one show up, like I said, people didn't even, like, answer her messages afterwards. She's like, oh,
there was the one person that was actually really stoked about it. Did actually message me and say, hey, I was in the hospital that day. Like, I had to go to the emergency, and I'm like, okay, you have a valid excuse at this moment. So, but everyone else who was, like, super pumped about it didn't show up.
Yeah. So Tammy's just like, well, fuck it. I'm not planning anything anymore.
I hate the fact that graffiti is so hard to get off.
But that seems to have been our biggest, like, problem when trying to do streams. Like, group streams. There are people that aren't just basically us or our immediate friends. And even the immediate friends sometimes can be difficult, but, like, we can't accomplish it because it's like, we talk to the people about doing it, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it. And we're like, cool. And then they never show up. And the one time that we were invited to something, we showed up and did, as a fair bit of it. And then we got never invited back. And it was so weird.
It is our life, unfortunately. But graffiti is removed on that side. Hooray!
So I remember that, like, being something that was confusing to me. I'm like, I think the person did ask us to come back. And Tammy's like, I'm sorry, we're actually on vacation right now. Like, we were legitimately, like, not in town. And the person was like, okay, and then never messaged us again. And that was, like, the really crazy part was the fact that was short notice. It wasn't like, like, long notice either. It was like the person asked the day that they were streaming. But, like, no one else has ever asked us to, like, And part of it, I think, like, I don't want to be, like, again, I'm not trying to be, like, is that what I'm looking for? I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for, like, I'm not trying to, like, bash myself or anything like that. Well, a lot of the time I think it's, like, with that stuff like that, it's I'm the problem. That if it was just you, a lot of them would message back and would want to do stuff, but when I get involved,
Which just boggles my fucking brain. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it.
I don't either. Maybe it's because I'm, like, too overbearing or too assertive.
Like, I know that some people mistake when you get really chatty or, like, really, like, what they would consider overbearing is because like you're super passionate about what you're talking about, or like you get really into the discussion about it, and then people could see that as overbearing, but you're just really like you're just a really passionate person that just talks with their hands a lot.
I'm not talking
I
with
don't
my
know.
hands right now. Jeez, Thames.
Yeah, you are.
I am not talking
Talking
with
with
my
your
hands.
hands via. You're talking with your hands via the controller.
I literally stopped moving.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's one of those things where I find that a lot of people don't, not everybody, but a lot of people don't want me around because of that. Or another one's like, they don't think, which is fine. I totally get that. Where they don't think I'm like loyal to the group because the concept that I'm never in their chats, I'm never talking to them, I'm not in their discords, shit like that. But the thing is that I can't be. Like, it's too much for me. If like you could be like, chatting, like watching a show, chatting inside, like talking to a couple different people, being inside someone's fucking stream while you're watching an actual show, and you're good. But I can't. Like, if I'm watching a show, I'm watching a show.
Yeah. Most of the time it's because I'm usually just end up listening to what the show is going on about, because majority of the time I know what the show is doing. Like,
Yep. No, and a lot of the times that I will agree that a lot of the times the shows that we're also watching are YouTube videos about games or whatever that I'm more interested in, and you're only partially interested in it. And if you're not understanding what's going on, or if you need a briefer or whatever, you ask me, because sometimes I'll be watching these shows like without you. Like there's a streamer, a couple of different ones, but the one currently I'm watching a lot of is because I'm trying to get through his backlog because I stopped watching him for a while there, which I totally understand why I stopped watching him. Because every time he's playing a game, I'm just like, oh, I fucking want to play that game. Anyway, his name's Ronamont. And I'll be watching his videos, and then Tammy will be like, coming off from work, and then she'll be like, oh, you're watching this, I'm going to watch this with you. And then basically she's like, oh, why is this happening right now? And I quickly explain it to her, and she goes, okay. And then she's now caught up. Or she watches enough of the concept that she's watching it, and she doesn't ask any questions because she knows roughly that this, because like one of the games is like RimWorld, for example, he plays. And a lot of the time when she's watching, she's like, I understand RimWorld. I understand what's going on. I'm just basically now watching the show. Like, he's got 2 series going on for RimWorld. And when Tammy first started watching, she's like, okay, what's this one about? And I explained it to her, and she's like, okay. Which wasn't like hard to explain. I'm like, oh, it's the new DLC, but these guys are cultists. She's like, okay. And then she was watching the other one. She's like, wait, he's done with the cultist one? I'm like, no, this is the other one that he's doing. She's like, oh, I didn't know he was doing 2. I'm like, yeah. The other one is that he's, they're soldiers who are trying to, stop the things from happening. And she's like, ah, gotcha. And then basically now she knows which one's which. But And then like there was a series that she really liked, and I was like, "Oh, you want to watch this one?" She's like, "Yeah, I want to watch this one with you." So I was like, "Okay." So I didn't watch that one unless I was watching it with her.
That was the airship one.
Yes, which I actually did buy, or not, I didn't buy. I put it on my wish list to buy that game. It's on Game Pass right now, but it's coming off Game Pass.
Uh,
So if you actually like the game enough that you want to watch me play it,
my gosh, God.
in September, or not September, in middle of the month, slash before September starts, we can acquire that game along with the other games that we're thinking about grabbing. Tammy's right now we're not poor. We're a long shot from being poor.
My gosh, God.
But we also don't have a lot of like throw around cash right now. I think we only owe, besides her car, obviously. I think we owe a Visa $600, maybe $700 now after groceries have been paid, but $600. And Tammy gets paid 3 times this month. So Tammy's goal was just in the middle of the month, using that check, which will be pretty much, she doesn't need that check for anything else, to basically pay off the Visa. And then we can buy a couple games or whatever, and then after we buy a couple games, she'll just pay off the Visa again. I think that's where we're going to buy Space Marines 2. We're going to buy the Wormworld DLC. And then if she wants me to play any of the other games, she can get that done. But it's not like it's a huge thing if I don't get any other games. So, I'm not too worried. And then I know that the next big purchase I think that we have to make for game-wise is in late October? Early November?
For your quote-unquote birthday gift?
Yeah, which is going to be late November. I'm pretty sure it's when it comes out. It's just going to be real upsetting. I always, for most of the years, whenever my birthday, whenever Assassin's Creed comes out, it usually comes out near my birthday. And yeah.
Usually we get it every time. Usually on the pre-release, like whatever cool pre-release specials they have.
Yeah. I don't think anything else is coming out this year that I really want to get. Besides those 2 games. I also may or may not have to get you to buy me a game in October. We'll see if it's still in Game Pass by the time I go for it. Which is Prey for the PC. I was thinking about playing that for October.
Makes sense. It is one of your favorite games.
I liked it how they did it. Yeah. It's probably in the top. I don't know if it's in the top 10, but it's definitely in the top 100.
Where are you dirty, Wall? You're not dirty up top. Or is this... I think this is, yeah, I was going to say it's connected to this side. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like... I don't know what order I'd have my favorite games in, but yeah, like, Oblivion, Skyrim, those two. Whatchamacallit there? Fallout 3. It's a good game. Though I really wish that they would remaster Fallout 3, just so I can actually see if Fallout 3 was as good as I remember it. I remember certain things about Fallout 3 that I would still always classify as it being in my top 100. Because it was the first game that really made me realize that achievements could open up so many possibilities in a video game for me. Because they did the achievements really well, where it's like, it was based on like certain missions. So like, I realized that there's an achievement for this mission. I'm like, where the fuck's this mission? So I went and looked for the mission and realized that I had never gone to the one part of the map ever. Because no quest had ever brought me close to it. But because this one quest for this achievement was over there. It was like the opening of like, oh hey, I could just go over there, get this achievement. So that was one of the other ones. A bunch of the Assassin's Creed games. I've really enjoyed those over the years. But yeah, no, there's a couple other games that, going just straight out to just games, because we were talking about this earlier, where I was saying that how, because of people's schedules not lining up, certain games not being able to play them or whatnot, there is so many games that I would love to play with my friends, but for one reason or another, we just can't play together. Some of them is like friends' feelings towards like certain styles of games. Like, two of my friends out of the core group of us, which there's not many. There's only like 5 of us, 6 of us. Well, I think 5. I would love to classify Owen as one of them, but yeah. But anyway, out of the 5 of us, 2 of them don't like racing games that much. So it's really hard to get into certain racing games, which I remember back in the day. Which I wish I had been streaming at the time, because some of that shit would have been fucking hilarious to move over. But I remember playing with a group of friends, and we used to play GTA races, and holy crap, some of them were just hilarious. I also remember, like, you know, GTA 4, some of the stuff that we did in GTA 4, which is why I'm really upset that GTA 5 doesn't have a server customization where you can turn off the cops, because there were so many fucking things we did in 4 that we could only do because there wasn't cops. Like, I remember doing a I think where we basically found a circle, like just an area, but it was a circle, and we all were basically found cars, and the entire concept is that you had 10 minutes to find a car. Once you found a car, you all got into the center, and you were not allowed to fire your gun. And you just had to basically destroy the other person's car by ramming into it. And the last car surviving wins. So a lot of the time, what people would do is they would, because the engine's in the front of the car, you use it back into a lot of people. Because if you drove into them head on, you damage your car. The other thing I started doing, which I know Bryant found out, it got to a rule that got changed, which is I was starting to use the Inferno. The Inferno's engine's in the back. The reason that mattered is because I went and I just crashed head onto you. One, I had more control because I'm driving with the correct side of my car. I'm not going in reverse. And two, because I'm not going in reverse, I'm getting more power. And yeah, it was just like you smashed into people and just... So there was a rule where it was like you can't have Infernos.
Man.
I wasn't too upset about it. It was just like, I totally understood it. I was like, yeah, okay. I remember once trying to bring a bus in. Just like silly things like that. But you can't do that with the cops because if you start in GTA 5, because the cops start getting pissed off, they start interfering, and it's just like, oh, cool. Now you can't fucking do any of this shit that you want to do. Because the cops are in the goddamn way.
No bueno.
But I remember in GTA 5, we also did a,
4 or 5?
5. In 5.
Okay.
I remember us doing a thing where it's like, you grab a car. It cannot be one of your actual cars. So it could be any car you want, but it can't be your actual car. Then everyone else is allowed to grab any car that they want, as long as it's not their personal car. Or anyone's personal car. And then basically the first person, I think we called it cat and mouse. The mouse runs. And all the people just basically chase after him. And you just keep ramming him, and just until his car blows up. And you're not allowed to leave your car when it blows up. You have to stay in your car. And whoever is classified as the killer. So let's say Tammy blew up, does the damage and kills me. Or the last bit of damage that kills me. Tammy then is now the mouse, and she immediately has to run. And everyone else takes chase. In the vehicles they are currently in. And I have to go find a vehicle and jump into that and then chase. And I remember a lot of the time, like one of the strategies that some people had was what they were going to do is they were going to take a like a bus or a semi truck, something that may not be fast but has a lot of power behind it, and that's the vehicle they were going to use. Actually, I think we called it bully.
Probably, yeah.
That's exact. Now I don't think about it. It was bully. Because of the concept that you were being a bully. Because that was how we started. Was that someone was just bullying you, people around. So we started calling it Bully. But yeah, like little things like that. That we can't do that anymore because like, the group that we're in don't really like doing racing games. Or like the figure eight race that we did. So it's like a lot of that like kind of like loses its options. And I just yeah, it's just sad. Oh, what other ones were there? Or doing any of the GTA stuff because the concept that though at least one of the people in the group refuses to do anything dealing where they may have to get into a car for too long because they get mad at cars because cars don't do what they think they should do in games.
I feel like out of most of our friends, I am one of the more flexible ones on which one, like what games I'll jump into and stuff. Most of it.
Yeah. Well, I understand that, like one of the things I've been told is that literally because of me saying no to certain games, one of our friends decided he wasn't going to give any more suggestions to games. I'm like, but the problem is that the games you're suggesting don't work. It was like he was suggesting like we play game A. I'm like, why are we playing game A? This is literally you're supposed to be playing for 1 week. Like it's just one stream of this. Why would we start a new game? Well, like like that's my whole thing. It's like I don't have a problem like playing the game because it was like we're talking about maybe playing like a 5-person game because the concept that at one point all 5 of us were actually be schedules were going to be having one of us off or all of us off at the exact same time. I'm like that's so cool. What game do you guys want to play? And then they listed off like the one guy listed off like 5 different games that we've never played before. I'm like no, but how about one of the ones that we have already played?
I could think of 2 off the top of my head that, I mean, all 5 of us could play, but I think they were mentioned, which was Dead by Daylight and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there's also Friday the 13th. There's also Among Us.
That's Among Us.
So there was options, but yeah, it was just like I said, it's just one of those things where it's like, that's why the person said that they refuse to mention anything anymore. I'm like, okay, but that's not really that fair because like I'm just pointing out the problems that we're gonna have with it. Like I remember them suggesting a game. I'm like, but that's PvP. Can't remember what game it was now that they suggested, but that's PvP. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you hate PvP. Like, why would you suggest a PvP game?
I dislike PvP. I'll do it if that's what everyone else is gonna play, but it hurts my soul.
But yeah, like I remember them. That's one of the things that they suggested. They were like suggesting a game, like, but it's PvP. And they were so confused on why I was saying like it like that. And then I'm like, but you hate it. Like, isn't that what you told us like before? Like, so why do you want to do it now? Like, I'm so confused.
We're down to the last 3 things.
Yeah,
The end is in sight.
this has gone on a lot longer than the first time we did it for some reason. Because I'm looking at the time,
Yeah.
and this is supposed to
I
be
was
like
gonna say
30 minutes, 45 minutes. I think we were talking about this being like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I'm pretty sure it's been an hour and a half. I forgot to do my
hour 15 currently, I think, because Rise messed up. So
yeah. I thought Rise took only 35 minutes, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think we were at 42 minutes or something like that when we finished up and swapped over. But
yeah, it's a little. It's about that. Yeah, I was gonna say it was about 2:45 or two. Yeah, because that's when you said it in my chat. But nonetheless,
there we go.
the short end of the whole conversation is just the fact that
Where did I
you'd
put
love
the
to play
ladder?
games with other people, but we have to make sure that we have to look into more stuff, figure out why people don't want to play games with us, figure out if they just don't want to play games with groups or anymore, or what's happening. Because I would have loved to do another Among Us night. I know at one point people were not wanting to play Among Us anymore because we were playing just hide and seek. Because I was trying to get the hide and seek achievements. Which I totally get.
Trying to figure out which wall is.
Okay. Not this ball, not this ball, not this ball. Not this ball, not this ball.
There it is. Grabbing the ladder. So I have a feeling it's that. Somehow I missed a top bit and I just. Nope. Top bit. Oh, top bit is mostly done. There. There were like 2 tiny little bitlets.
Okay. Well, that's the end of this episode. So if you want to check out more from me and Tammy, you can under our usernames. For myself, it's the Relentless Undead. For Tammy, it is Tamapanda. We also have a community Discord. If you guys want to check it out, it should be linked below. If you're currently watching this live, we're just jumping over to another game. If you're watching this anywhere else, that's where we say goodbye. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.